What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How are you doing? Welcome back to another episode of Hip Hop News, and today we're going to be talking more about the death of XXXTentacion, because one of the biggest shockers that still is about X's death is that what was the motive for X's killing, because I still don't know what was the motive exactly for X's killing. However, based off of what I read here in this article, there could be new clues as to what led to all of a sudden X's death. So let's get started, shall we? So XXXTentacion was gunned down in front of Riva Motorsports in Deerfield, Florida on June 18, 2018. As news of his violent death rippled across social media, rumors also started to spread in South Florida and throughout his members-only clique. To them, it looked like a setup that they were determined to get to the bottom of it. Now, of course, there's a book regarding X's life called Look at Me, the XXXTentacion story, in which the author Jonathan Rice took a deep dive into the abyss of X's short life and discovered that his murder wasn't as random as it first appeared. What investigators initially believed was a simple robbery gone bad turned out to be much more complicated. So, of course, there's definitely probably going to be more clues as to what happened on that day. According to Rice's book, this was premeditated, and it started with X's black BMW i8, a roughly $163K car with butterfly doors, meaning that the doors open up, because normally in cars the doors open sideways. However, some cars have it where the doors open up, hence the term butterfly doors. In chapter 24 of Look at Me, Rice explains murder suspect Dedrick Williams. However, Dedrick Williams was not the guy that shot X. It was believed to be Michael Boatwright as the trigger man in X's death. However, Dedrick Williams probably played a big part in this robbery, because he probably is the one that set up the robbery. Now, of course, I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I'm assuming. Happened to be in the same building where X was checking in with his probation officer. X was required to regularly check in with the Broward County Probation Office due to his home invasion charges. Williams, who was on probation for selling the synthetic drug Flocka, took notice of X's flashy new luxury car and evidently filed it away in his memory. So right here, based off what we read, it looks like that this whole thing was just simply out of jealousy, and Dedrick Williams was probably just jealous of X's success, and he couldn't handle X's success, based off of what I'm reading here on this paragraph. Out in the parking lot, Williams noticed the i8 and recognized the man getting out of it as XXXTentacion. Rice writes, on January 18, Williams allegedly spotted X's car again at a Bank of America branch near Riva Motorsports. Williams allegedly then called the other three perpetrators, who, according to investigators, were driving around looking for someone to rob. So, of course, right there, we can see that they were planning to rob somebody, and they just happened to pick XXXTentacion. And then it says here, ostensibly, the reason why the two culprits walked inside Riva was because they were sent to go check to make sure it was actually X. In the end, it seems like they shot him simply because he had made trouble them and wouldn't give up the bag when they had asked. So, of course, there's surveillance footage of X's murder, and in the surveillance footage, it shows that X doesn't want to give them the bag. And, of course, because of that, literally, they just go out their way and they take X's life. So this is just really messed up. I still remember that day like it was yesterday. Somebody on Twitter retweeted XXXTentacion literally getting shot, and I was like, wait, what the hell is this? And then I saw the video, and I thought to myself, man, I couldn't believe my eyes. Like, I didn't want to believe it at first, but then when I saw, I'm like, oh, damn. That is a very, very big shocker. And, of course, this, without a doubt, will go down as possibly one of the saddest stories and one of the saddest deaths in hip-hop history, just because, X definitely touched a lot of people. And just the fact that somebody would just cut his life short like that just goes to show you that this is just really messed up, and that the gun violence, it just needs to end. Like, seriously, because one of the biggest problems, in my opinion, in this world today is still gun violence, especially in the hip-hop world, where there's a lot of jealousy, and yeah, it's just terrible. After Williams' arrest, he was interrogated for hours and denied that he was even near Riva Motorsports on the day of the murder. He then changed his story and claimed he was there with his daughter. As investigators pressed him, he finally cracked and confessed he was there with the two other suspects caught on camera inside the store, Trayvon Newsom and Michael Boatwright. Williams quickly pivoted from denial to remorse, regaling cops with stories of sleepless nights before the event. Rice continues. So, of course, he tried to make excuses as to try and justify why he did what he did. And, of course, the police aren't going to buy any of that, because it's like, if he thought he was going to fool the police, then I don't know, like, what planet he was on. He told police he wanted to tell the truth, but said he was concerned about being labeled a snitch. He requested a lawyer. A search of Williams' home and car uncovered live ammo that matched the spent casings left at the crime scene and receipts from a shopping spree from after the time of the robbery. They tracked down a cashier from one of the stores where Williams stopped, who confirmed that Williams had paid with $100 bills. And right there, you can see there's security footage of them clearly planning to do this and rob X, because they ended up passing XXXTentacion, and X looked at them. And, the biggest question I'm trying to figure out is, why did X not have security? Because, I feel like that when a rapper is successful, they definitely should have security with them, because having a security for a rapper should be mandatory, in my personal opinion. I mean, come on now. Rappers definitely should have security if they're like based on their level of fame, regardless of whether or not they're famous. Like, I still think that having security is still the biggest need for rappers that, you know, want to become big in the hip hop world, because I feel like that if X had security on him that day, I think that X would have been alive. But hey, that's just my personal opinion, you know. Other questions floating around X's murder involved the lack of security, but as noted in Rice's book, X had his own personal reasons for not using his money to hire bodyguards. Sadly, it also seems like X may have ignored advice from colleagues to hire full-time security, in part because of the extent to which he prioritized his bond with his fans. When asked why X didn't have tight security during the summer of 2018, Ryan replied, "I feel like he didn't want security because he didn't want his fans to feel like they were in the way." X was 20 years old at the time of his death. Although his career was shrouded in controversy, those who loved X loved him hard. Shortly after he was killed, his mother, Cleopatra Bernardo, revealed that the son's girlfriend was pregnant with his child. His son, Gakaima Onfroy, sorry if I'm butchering the name, was born in last January, which Bernard describes to as a final gift. In terms of the criminal case, Newsom, Boatwright, Williams, and Robert Allen remain in custody. In April, Williams begged Judge Michael to let him out of prison out of fear he'll contract the COVID. In a letter obtained by TMZ, Williams explained he's at high risk for catching and wants to be released on house arrest. "I am sending you this letter to save my life. Recently, a deputy at the Broward County Jail gave an inmate the COVID. This matter makes me afraid because my immune system is very weak, and here at the jail they aren't testing anyone," and of course his request was denied. Anyways, ladies and gents, that's practically one of the other clues as to what happened to XXXTentacion that night on June 18, 2018. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any of your own opinions on this, then please let me know in the comment section below and let's have a discussion. But hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you to everybody that watches my news videos. Make sure to drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel. Help me get to 100 subscribers because I'm currently at 17. So any support of this channel will be much appreciated. Thank y'all, and y'all have a good one.